Hey golfers, Jake Montgomery here with Second Swing. I have the privilege of fitting Jake Olson today. He is a golfer from South Dakota State University, two-time high school champion, really solid player. It's a privilege really to get him in the bay here and kind of work with him. So Jake, what are we looking to address today?
I'm looking to get some new irons and a driver today.
Okay. Absolutely.
Kind of work on getting a little more spin with my irons, keep it more consistent.
Yep.
And then just getting a driver that I can put out there and play and not get the extra penalty strokes with.
Absolutely. So for a golfer of your caliber, I talk a lot about windows. From what it sounds like, you like to have kind of a slight fade on the ball.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And then from the discussions we had, I think we're looking for a little bit more spin, maybe a little more land angle, just give us some more control, especially stopping power in the longer irons.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Hit some shots for me, and we'll kind of see what the gamer's doing.
All right.
He's got a Mura TB 901 to start off with in a Dynamic Gold X100. What is the miss that you hate to see?
I would say, well, especially with a driver, I hate to see the low right miss.
Yeah.
Like, we're just kind of sweeping over top of it and flipping the hands.
Yep.
So I'd say definitely like a hook like that is my
Okay.
least favorite miss to see.
Absolutely. So I know we like to see that ball kind of fall left. I'm seeing a slight draw path right now. Is that typical?
Sometimes it just kind of depends on the day a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, I just kind of every once in a while it switches back and forth a little bit. I like to, I mean, if it's just -1, I can kind of deal with that.
For
but
sure.
I don't like to see it get too crazy either
Yeah.
way. A
Okay,
little bit.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You struggle a lot with getting jumpers out of these?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few shots here where the spin's fluctuating a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you a player that's pretty sensitive to the feel of your golf club?
I like the feel of the face. I don't know that I'm so much with the shaft, but
Okay.
like if it feels good off the face, then that's one part that I really do care about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. How familiar are you with TrackMan numbers?
That's what I use at home when I practice.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. So just for the audience at home, I'm going to go through a couple things that I'm noticing right away.
Cool.
So club head speed, 100 miles an hour, elite level speed. We're absolutely staying in that kind of extra stiff shaft that we currently have in there. Smash factor is ball speed divided by club head speed. It's a mark of efficiency. 137 and a more bladed iron like he has there is very good. Launch angle at 17, spin rate at 6,400. This is definitely an area we're going to look at a lot today. Your land angle is great, but I definitely want to see a little bit more spin there. I wouldn't mind if we start touching the 7,000s a little bit, because again, that's going to give you a little bit more spin to work with in your longer irons if you do catch one that doesn't spin quite as much.
Yeah.
We're seeing anything down from 6,200 up to 67, 6,800. I want to try and get that flatlined a little bit more. Ideally, we're sticking more around the 65 to 69 range, but we'll kind of see where that goes as we get into it. 130 for the peak height, 54 for the land angle. That's great. You have plenty of descent angle there to work with. I'm sure that you hit your 4-iron, 5-iron plenty high, even in more of an MB style iron.
Yeah.
Carry 190, how true is that to what you see outside?
I would say that's pretty similar.
Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. Attack angle, down only 1.9. I think that's where some of your spin issues come from. You're not as steep on the ball as some other players are at your speed. What would you say your typical divot's looking like? Is it a little shallow or a little more sweepy? Are you still taking some pretty good turf there?
Yeah, depending on the shot I'm trying to hit, I guess. Every once in a while I'll catch a big divot, but in general I'd say it's a little shallower, a little smaller.
100%.
Yeah.
One thing I'm noticing right away as well is that your dynamic lie, so the lie angle of the golf club relative to the ground, is at 67. Your iron is at 62.5. So I think we're definitely going to go more upright than that.
Okay.
I think it could just help avoid these shots a little bit more where it's just leaking a little more left on you. It's just going to get your start line a hair more to the right. On average, side total 27 feet. Pretty fantastic there. I mean, it's not often I work with a golfer that has a grouping that tight, so this should be a pretty fun day. And the dynamic loft at impact, 22 degrees. Your iron has 34 degrees on it, according to Loft Lie Machine. So you do de-loft the club pretty good, which is why you get as much ball speed as you do. But I think, seeing a little bit more spin, getting the lie angle corrected to kind of move shot shape a little bit more to the right there, I think we should be in a pretty good spot.
Awesome.
Were there any club heads you wanted to try coming in?
No, I'm pretty open-minded.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to start us off in a blueprint tee.
Awesome.
Jake, how tall are you?
6'1" without shoes on, 6'2" with shoes.
Yeah, put your arm on your side for me like this. You have very long arms. Your wrist to force coming in at 35 inches.
Yeah.
I think based on impact already being a little bit in the heel and your longer arms, we're just going to stay at standard length.
Okay.
Is that normal to see?
I'm a little bit off the heel usually.
I think you just subconsciously have leaned that way to get more spin.
That might make sense, yeah.
Where did I put that shaft?
I was going to ask you about so you're talking about the dynamic lie.
Yeah.
So my divots are a little bit longer on the toe side usually. Like the toe has more divot than the heel. Would that have something to do with that? Like
100%.
the toes in the ground
yes.
longer?
Your toe needs to come more upright this way just to get that more squared impact.
Yeah,
100%.
okay.
For the head testing portion of this video, we're going to be in X100 pretty much across the board, just so we can kind of isolate what the head is doing.
Okay.
After we identify a head, we'll throw some shafts at you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Awesome.
Ping blueprint T. Okay.
Interesting.
Hit one more, but I already think this isn't spinning enough.
Okay. I don't know that I love the way the face feels
Okay.
either. I haven't hit very good shots with it, but.
At your level, if something doesn't pretty immediately work, I'm prone to just take it out of your hand. We didn't have a single ball in the 6,000s even for spin.
Yeah.
All right. TaylorMade P7 MB.
All right.
Very popular iron out on tour. That's more the spin rate we're looking for.
Yeah, and that felt like a shot that wouldn't spin as much with my irons that I'm playing right now, actually.
I love to hear that. Beautiful. 6,800 RPMs of spin, 55 land angle. No problem stopping that.
Yeah. And actually with the TaylorMades, I tried them a while ago, and I didn't really like the feel of the face, but these ones feel really nice off the face.
A little skinny.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't catch much of the ball there.
For 7,000. This iron is absolutely spinning more.
Definitely.
Okay. Slight pulse, still 6,400.
Definitely. That is not a shot that would usually spin very much. That was a
No, I mean, our
face.
floor now is 6,400 with our peak at 7,100.
Yeah.
Average spin rate is up about 300 RPMs.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost some carry. Ball speed went down about 4 miles an hour, but we are swinging a hair slower. Efficiency is exactly the same. We're at 137 smash factor to 1.37. Launch angles pretty much exactly the same, 17.2 to 17.5. We've lost about 10 feet of height, but that's going to kind of come down to the one that we caught here a little thin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're all peaking right around that 120, 130. So your window's not changing. Land angles remaining around the same, but we're seeing more spin.
Yeah. And that little distance that I'm losing, that doesn't bother me with irons. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm hitting it a couple yards less.
You move it plenty fast that I'm not too worried about that there.
Yeah.
Only worry with these clubs, we had a tendency to leave them a fraction open, lose them a little right there. But with lie angle shaft, we can address that.
Yeah.
I definitely think that is a contender for us. Next, I want to try an option from Mizuno.
Perfect.
All right, so here we have the Mizuno S3.
Sweet.
Definitely one of the spinnier options of the year. For players of your speed, this club has worked very well.
Okay.
If you're looking for a very soft feel, you're going to like this.
Okay. Sweet.
That was a beautiful golf shot.
That one felt nice.
Okay. Took a hair of a nosedive in the spin. Looked like it was a little high in the face. Was that heavy at all?
It might have been a little bit. It definitely hit a little bit higher on the face. Yeah.
Kind of the same shot there. A little lower in the face, but still about 6,500 spin.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the lower limit of where I want to be.
Yeah.
$6,100. I just don't know if this iron's giving us enough spin.
Okay.
When you flush it, it's there.
Yeah.
Dispersion pattern on it was pretty solid. Very flat line for your carry. We only had about a 1.7 yard variation there. So it was very consistent. Spin rate is about the same as yours. Little tighter tolerance. Land angle a fraction lower, height a fraction lower. Efficiency exactly the same. I mean, you kind of live in that 136, 137 range. Mm-hmm. How would you rate the feel of that compared to the TaylorMade?
I think they both felt pretty soft. This one might have been a little bit softer, but I did like the feel of both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not ruling it out completely, but I think we might need a shaft or something in here just to get the spin a little higher.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw one more at you.
Sounds good.
I guarantee you never thought you'd hit this today. Cobra MB.
I did not think I was going to hit that today. I did not say I've ever hit a Cobra Club before.
It is very spinny. Little Healy?
Yeah.
Here's the spin. I just left her open.
Yeah. That was...
Cap, hand it back. Not spinning enough. We're going to test one iron here that's going to be more kind of like the player's CB category.
Okay.
Titleist T100.
Sweet.
All right, put a couple swings on there. We'll look through all the data.
Awesome.
Good shot. That was pretty middled on the face.
Yeah, that one felt good.
Yeah, highest smash factor we've seen today.
That was a little low on the face there.
Okay. Yeah. Your dispersion right now is pretty uncanny. Yeah, you got 3 balls right now you could put a blanket over. The spin's not exactly where I want it to be, but could always go a little weaker on this iron.
You can, meaning
We would just weaken the loft
a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. When I show you this dispersion here, you're going to have a little chuckle. Those are 4 golf shots right here.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit better than the other.
Yeah. That's uncanny. I mean, spin rate did drop a lot. We're at 6,200.
Yeah.
I expected that out of this head. This isn't as high spin as the other options.
Mm-hmm.
I put a higher spin shaft in there just to try and help it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm really curious is if we take a club that was already higher spin, like the P7MB, put that same shaft in there, how much tighter will that dispersion get? So I think that's our next step here.
Yeah.
As far as spin rate goes, P7MB stood on its own. I mean, it was fantastic. 6,700. Our floor was a lot lower with it. I think the lowest spin we had was about 6,400, which is higher than our really highest spin that we had in like the T100, for example.
Yeah.
Mizuno was great, had a very, very solid carry dispersion, only 1.7 yards, but again, only about 6,400 on the peak height there. Cobra, I'm just dumping out of there. Just did not spin enough. And I'd say the same thing with the Blueprint T, just didn't quite have enough spin there.
Definitely.
I think it's going to be one of these 3 options. TaylorMade P7MB is definitely my leader in the clubhouse. If we get a different shaft in there, spin remains the same and dispersion tightens up, I think it's job done.
Yeah, I'd like to try that for sure.
All right, so we're switching into the KBS Tour here. It's a little higher spin than the standard X100 is. Mm-hmm. I want to see if, 1, it helps with our spin rate, but 2, we hit that in the last club and our dispersion got very, very tight. So I want to see if we can replicate that there.
Yeah.
Good ball. definitely just see more spin from this club. Beautiful.
I definitely really like the feel of this shaft. Like,
Yeah.
it almost feels a little bit different off the club face. Like, it's easier to make contact with.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah.
That is so flush. Yeah. I think this is absolutely our shaft.
I like this. Yeah, for sure. It's a little thin.
A little thin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball speed dropped off. That's still dead straight. It's just getting up and down after that one.
Yeah. Tiny bit heely.
Yep. Yeah, we lost a little bit of ball speed there.
Yeah.
Okay. Our dispersion tightened up a lot from left to right.
Yeah.
That's where we started, and this is where we're finishing.
Yeah, I just had a couple mishits in there.
Offline variation went from 30 feet to 10.
Yeah.
So we literally cut it in a third. Contact got a little low heely on a couple of those, so we dropped some ball speed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too worried about that there.
No.
I think we hit 35 shots here pretty quickly. The last couple, because they weren't hit the best, spun a little bit lower. But on our flush shots, we're still seeing a floor of about 6,500 there for the spin.
Mm-hmm.
Just kick those two out for a second. Those first three you hit had a carry variation of 0.3 yards.
Yeah.
That's very consistent. Landing was still 53. Launch is an 18. Smash factor still at 138. I really think that's going to be our combination. I want to try and put a P7 CB on there because I want to think about more like the long irons in the bag.
Yeah.
Just kind of maybe give me something that's a hair easier to hit in the 4, maybe the 5 iron.
For sure.
So I want to put that on that shaft and just kind of see how the numbers vary, see if we drop a ton of spin. It's definitely going to be a little nicer to you on those misses.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see how miss hits perform with it.
Sweet. I think I tried the P770s at one point,
Yeah.
and I just didn't like the feel of the face, but these feel a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, the P770 is still a hollow body iron.
Okay, yeah.
So these are going to feel a lot more solid than those.
Yeah.
Just because there's no internal hollow cavity. Especially coming from like Miras, you're going to be really sensitive to feel.
Yeah. This is a
That's a P7 CB.
cap.
We're probably going to see the spin rate drop here a little bit.
Okay.
What I really want to pay attention to is peak height. If we
Okay.
maintain the same peak height, we should be fine on longer irons.
Okay.
$130 feet in the air.
Is that what it was before?
Right about there, yeah. 125. Okay. A little Healy. So I definitely saw a reduction in spin, which I expected to see.
Yeah.
Good shots were right about that 127, 126, and we were at 126 average before. So I mean, it's going to maintain our peak height. We're dropping a little bit in spin. I think if we did do this, we would weaken them a degree in loft.
Yeah.
Just to kick a little bit more spin, a little bit more height on them. Mm-hmm. Now, this decision ultimately is completely up to you.
Yeah.
You're currently playing a full MB set. So I know we can handle having a smaller 4 and 5 iron. My only question would be, do you feel like you want something that's a little nicer to you, especially like in the 4?
I definitely do. Yeah. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think if we just weaken that up a little bit, that spin's going to come back on it. But it's just going to be a little more consistent on a miss in your 4 iron.
Yeah. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll go P7 CB in the 4 and then 5-3 pitching wedge in the MB.
Okay.
We're going 3 degrees upright on all of them, 1 degree weak on the P7 CB. And then
Sweet.
in that KBS Tour extra stiff.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Sweet.
All right. Any other questions on the specs at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that should be good.
All right, awesome. Hey golfers, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope that it demonstrates why it is important to come in for a fitting yourself. You don't need to be as good of a player as Jake for this to make a pretty large difference in your golf game. We are happy to help golfers of all handicaps and all ability levels. Please come in and see someone like myself or any other fitter at a Second Swing location.